Hey, don't come closer.
Why is you playing?
Don't come any closer to me. Sir, stop grabbing me.
Everything all right?
No, everything's not okay. I don't know this man.
Why are you doing?
I don't know this man.
Bro, move, bro.
No.
I don't know this man.
Okay, come on.
Come on, walk me to my car, please.
He was good to our kids. He played ball with them. He took me to their haircuts.
In the early hours of January 2, 2025, a 30-year-old hairstylist had gone out to run some errands to do a home visit to a client who wanted to get their hair done. But unbeknownst to her, this client was her stalker, pretending to be a client. She was never seen again. It wasn't until days later that the police were called to look for her. As the investigation pushed forward,
because there's no other way sometimes to explain it when you don't have a body except all of the evidence that's been accumulated.
they were led to an apartment in the 2900 block of Pinehurst Street in Roseville, Michigan, but she wasn't there. All there was her stalker and traces of the woman's blood found in the dumpster. The police were immediately haunted by the mystery of what had happened to her. But just when things seemed to stall, they uncovered a shocking discovery. This is the life and death of Ashley Elkins. This story unfolds in Warren, Michigan, a city known for its suburban charm, outdoor recreation, and affordability, and seems like an ideal place to live. Yet, despite its appeal, Michigan has a violent crime rate. In Warren, the murder rate surpasses the national average by almost 60%. Among those tragic cases was Ashley Elkins. Ashley Lachey Elkins, born in 1995, is a 30-year-old woman from Warren, Michigan. She is the daughter of Monica Elkins and the older sister of two younger sisters. Ashley grew up in a family that looks out for one another, especially close with her two younger sisters. At a young age, Ashley exhibited a passion for creativity, particularly in hairstyling. Her natural talent opened up a path for her to pursue a career in it. Ashley is known to be a hard-working woman, which was proven when she eventually opened up her own home-based salon. Her loyal clients were her friends and neighbors who only had good words for her. Despite being a salon, Ashley built a place that cherished her clients as if they were her family. Ashley is deeply admired by her neighbors due to her warm, welcoming heart and meticulous eye for detail. She might be running a home-based salon, but for Ashley, that wasn't an excuse not to be a hands-on mom for her two boys. She proved that while being a single mother is tough, she could still be there for them at all times. She actively involved herself in their education and school activities, always reminding and encouraging her children to dream big and be kind at all times.
You were good to those boys. You know, you didn't think that how it would affect those boys, the ones you got their haircut, the ones you kept sometimes when she had to run errands, the ones you played ball with, the ones you took to the park. You didn't care about them.
She was a mother who only wanted to have a stable and nurturing home for her children. Ashley is deeply admired by her neighbors due to her warm, welcoming heart and meticulous eye for detail. For Ashley, hairstyling is not just a job, it is a reflection of who she is as a person and as a mom. While running her home-based salon and juggling the responsibilities of motherhood, Ashley had recently embraced a new chapter in her life, working for an online casino agency. It was an exciting opportunity, one that brought her a renewed sense of purpose and ambition. She was determined to balance it all: her growing hairstyling business, her new job, and raising her children. Life, though busy, was moving forward, but that sense of forward motion would soon be disrupted by a man who would change everything. It's this point that I want to introduce the man who changed her life forever, her boyfriend, DeAndre Booker. When Ashley first met DeAndre, she had no idea that this charming, attentive man would ultimately be the one to rob her of a future. Her family and friends initially welcomed him with open arms.
Can you describe their relationship? Have you been around them when they were?
Yeah, he was around my whole family. When I say I thought he was the one who was going to marry her.
He had a charisma that made him easy to like, and he quickly became a familiar face around the Elkins household. He bonded with Ashley's sons and laughed with her sisters, and for a while, it seemed like Ashley had found love again. But behind the charm was a darker past. DeAndre had previously served in the United States Army, but his career ended with a less than honorable discharge in 2017 after he went AWOL. During his time in the service, he faced multiple charges, including larceny and possession of fake identification documents. These were details Ashley didn't know when she fell for him, when she opened her heart and home to him. At first, everything seemed fine, but slowly the cracks began to show. DeAndre's behavior shifted. He became increasingly controlling, often checking Ashley's phone without permission. He went as far as creating fake social media profiles to monitor her activity. What once felt like love began to feel like surveillance. The relationship, once full of promise, grew toxic and suffocating. By September 2024, Ashley had made up her mind. She needed to walk away. What she didn't realize was that this decision would put her life in danger. The breakup didn't sit well with DeAndre. What should have been a clean break became the beginning of a nightmare. He began showing up unannounced, unable or unwilling to let go. Just days after their split, he crossed a line that left Ashley shaken. He booked a hair appointment at her salon using a fake name. When Ashley opened the door and saw him standing there, she refused to let him in. He knocked, first on the front door, then on the side. Relentlessly, Ashley, terrified, retreated into her room with her children. She whispered for them to stay quiet, holding her breath and hoping he would leave. She had no way of knowing that this would be just the beginning of something far more terrifying. Fearing for her safety and desperate for peace of mind, Ashley made the difficult decision to relocate her home-based salon. She hoped that putting some distance between herself and DeAndre would help her regain control of her life. But instead of deterring him, the move seemed to ignite something more dangerous in him. DeAndre didn't back down. Despite Ashley's efforts to distance herself, he continued to reach out obsessively. He called, he messaged, he lingered in the background of her life like a shadow she couldn't shake. Friends began to notice a change in her. Ashley grew anxious, jumpy even. She started to confide in those closest to her, admitting that she often felt like she was being watched. The fear was no longer just in her mind, it was beginning to define her daily life. No matter how carefully she tried to hide, DeAndre always seemed to find her. Then came the start of a new year, an opportunity for fresh beginnings. But for Ashley, 2025 would begin in the worst possible way. On the morning of January 2, 2025, just one day after New Year's, Ashley set out to run errands. Around 8:30 a.m., she left the house, driving her gray Chevy Malibu. She was dressed in a long black coat with fur lining around the hood and black leggings, clothes suited for a cold, quiet morning. To anyone else, it was just another ordinary day. But within minutes of her departure, something felt off. At around 8:40 a.m., just 10 minutes later, Ashley's mother, Monica Elkins, arrived at her daughter's home. Finding the house empty, Monica didn't think too much of it at first. She pulled out her phone and texted Ashley at 9:06 a.m., mentioning a strange dream she'd had the night before. In the dream,
when I got to her house, it was 8:40. She left at 8:30. I went in the house for a minute, came back out. I texted her I had a dream of her car being stolen. And she replied back, "Aw, man."
Ashley had borrowed her mother's truck and left the Chevy Malibu abandoned in a field. Ashley's brief reply was simply, "Aw, man." That short message seemed to stir a mother's intuition. Monica tried to FaceTime her daughter, but Ashley didn't answer, unusual behavior for someone who always checks her phone. An hour later, Monica received a text from Ashley saying she was heading to a beauty store. But soon after, Ashley's phone went silent, turned off completely, sending waves of immediate concern through her family. Anxiety set in, and worry began to cloud their thoughts, and in that moment, only one name came to everyone's mind. The ex-boyfriend whose obsession knew no bounds. The man everyone feared had finally crossed the line. On January 3, 2025, Ashley's family officially reported her missing to the Warren Police Department. It had been 3 days with no progress in the investigation, so Monica, Ashley's mother, tearfully pleaded on her Facebook account. She recorded herself saying that 3 days felt like a long time, that she needed all the help she could get, and encouraged everyone to keep posting and sharing her post about her missing daughter. All these words said while weeping.
It's been too long, y'all. I just feel like you're not doing enough. Y'all just keep posting, keep sharing. Just keep posting, keep sharing.
Ashley's uncle, Maurice Morton, also tried to reach her throughout the days, but all attempts were unsuccessful, which he found odd. He said Ashley is not the kind of person to ignore calls or messages, especially from her mother, emphasizing that she never leaves for a long time without communication, especially with her two boys. Just when hope was beginning to fade, the investigation uncovered a crucial detail that changed everything. The police investigation revealed that Ashley's phone records indicated her last known location was at Booker's residence in the 2900 block of Pinehurst Street in Roseville, Michigan. What was a woman who had been avoiding her ex-boyfriend doing at his apartment? Officers from both Warren and Roseville visited the residence on Hampton Court, but neither Ashley nor Dondre was there. Early on, family and friends warned police about Dondre's tech-savvy skills, his ability to create fake social media profiles and documents.
You know, when her friends had issues and problems, just a joy. You know, she came in the room, everybody started smiling. Oh, Ashley's here. You know, she just brought just joy in our family.
Though he could charm anyone, there was always something about him that didn't sit right. Now, both Ashley and her ex-boyfriend are missing. Suspicions quickly mounted that Dondre might be the man behind her disappearance. But just when it seemed like the case had gone cold, a breakthrough arrived. On January 7, 2025, the investigation took a dramatic turn. Investigators later discovered that DeAndre had booked a home service appointment using a fake name. Ashley, driven by her passion for hairstyling, went to the location, completely unaware of the danger that lay ahead. All signs pointed to him. But was he really the one behind Ashley's sudden disappearance? Eventually, everything began to fall into place. With all suspicions rising, authorities wasted no time. The police executed a search warrant at DeAndre's residence. What they found confirmed their worst fear. Officers combed over DeAndre's apartment for hours. What the investigators found in the dumpster confirmed the family's deepest anxieties about what had happened. Forensic analysis revealed Ashley's DNA in the discarded items, evidence that she had been there and that something terrible had happened.
And ultimately find what we believe to be a large crime scene with a substantial amount of blood in the bathroom. DNA confirms that the blood did in fact belong to the victim.
Investigators found bloodstains in the bathroom, bedroom, and hallway. They also discovered a burned mattress and signs of cleanup, evidence that further supports the theory that a violent crime took place inside the apartment. Meanwhile, Dondre Booker was nowhere to be found in his apartment at the time of the search. As police continued to track his whereabouts, another piece of evidence emerged, bringing them closer to the truth. Monica, Ashley's mother, posted on Facebook about her disappearance, and many people shared it. A concerned netizen, Kennedy Arrington, also posted on Facebook that Ashley's gray Chevy Malibu had been parked in front of her apartment complex, about 2 miles from Dondre's apartment, near 13 Mile Road and Little Mac Avenue in Roseville. She admitted that she didn't report it sooner because she thought it was just someone's parked car, not knowing it was a crucial piece of evidence in the tragic crime that had unfolded near her home. With all the pieces coming together, the only thing left was to find the missing suspect, DeAndre Booker. The very next day, on January 8, 2025, 5 days after Ashley's disappearance, he was finally located and arrested in Flint, Michigan. After his arrest, a search warrant for his phone and digital records was issued, giving them access to Dondre's online activities. That's when investigators later uncovered disturbing searches in his Google history.
What to do on the run? Is blood traceable? How to beat a polygraph? And deleting Google history.
He searched fastest route from Flint to Ohio, how to be on the run, is blood traceable, how to beat a polygraph test, and even how long does it take for a body to decompose. The truth was undeniable now. The man who once held Ashley's heart was the very one who had taken her life. DeAndre was then charged with first-degree premeditated murder, tampering with evidence, disinterment and mutilation of a dead body, and concealing the death of an individual. He was arraigned in Roseville District Court, where Judge Aliyah Hakim denied him bond. The suspect may now be behind bars, but even today, the question that haunts Ashley's family remains unanswered. Where did DeAndre put her body? There is no definite answer today about the remains of Ashley's body, but the authorities have been visiting the Pine Tree Acres landfill in Lenox Township, working around the clock to gather clues in the Ashley Elkins case. On January 11, 2025, a sizable team of more than 50 cops has been diligently inspecting a property that spans more than 6.5 acres. While the authorities searched through the pile, bulldozers moved through the soil. Meanwhile, using cadaver dogs is still a challenge because organic trash is discovered all around the landfill. Chief Berlin stresses that they are getting close. Officials are steadfast in their efforts, and the crew is determined to keep searching despite the difficulties, because they want answers. Monica, Ashley's mother, acknowledged that police had been doing their best to locate the remains of her beloved daughter. She addressed the media following Dondre's arraignment, expressing her acceptance that her daughter was no longer alive, and described the grief and heartbreak of telling Ashley's sons knew their mother was gone and would never be coming home. Ashley's family is still pushing hard for justice. They want her story to remind everyone about how serious domestic violence is and why we all need to watch out for the people we love. What happened to Ashley should never have happened. It's heartbreaking to think that she just fell in love and left a relationship, but later on had to live in fear, hiding even in her own home just because she was afraid of her ex. Her family and friends are left with so much pain and so many questions. Her children are carrying the grief of losing a mother. The impact of this tragedy will stay with them forever. On January 25, 2025, people from the community came together for a candlelight vigil to remember Ashley and to hope for answers about her disappearance. Her mother, Monica Elkins, said thank you to everyone, sharing that it means a lot to see so many caring for her daughter. The case has led to a wider discussion about women's safety and the significance of prompt action in cases involving missing persons. Ashley's family has responded by calling for the creation of an Ashley alert system, which would give missing and endangered women faster notifications. Initiatives like these have the potential to save lives and result in prompt resolutions. The community's role is still vital as the investigation goes on. Please get in touch with the local authorities if you know anything that might help find Ashley or shed light on the circumstances surrounding her disappearance. Your tip might be the difference between her being brought home and giving her family the answers they so desperately need. Ashley's story is a heartbreaking one, but amid grief, there's still love and there's still hope. That her loved ones are holding on to that. And in that same spirit of love, Ashley's mother, Monica Elkins, started a GoFundMe to help support Ashley's 2 young boys. The community has already come together and raised over $16,000, 0 cents. A beautiful reflection of how many hearts Ashley touched. Let us know what you think about this case in the comments below.